I look out the back window of our taxi as it winds its way through the West End of London. Gone are the cramped, dirty streets of South London. Here the streets are lined with green trees. Houses only for the very rich are interspersed with modern apartment buildings for rising millionaires. The taxi slows in front of a grand, imposing building that seems to have been torn from the pages of a history book. It stands tall and proud, its ornate windows sparkling in the early evening sun. "I can't believe that this building was turned into apartments," says the taxi driver. "I have always loved this building." Brad quickly gets out of the taxi after paying with his card. He leans over to look at his reflection in the taxi window. "What do I look like?" he asks when I leave. "Oh my God, Brad, you've already asked me that 5 times this evening." "You look good, okay? Are you sure? What will you do if I say no? It's too late, isn't it?" I say, grabbing him by the belt and pulling him away from his makeshift mirror. Okay. Not all of us can always look stunning like you." Brad slaps my ass and whistles, "Look at these apartments, honey. As soon as I reach the Premier League, we will have the same one." I take his hand and we walk to the apartment building. A concierge in a black uniform opens one of 2 large glass and wooden doors. He looks us over, his gaze lingering on my skirt a little longer than necessary before returning to my face. He smiles at me warmly, I return the same, and we go inside. When I started dating the football player, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I quickly figured it out. This became a tradition that I had to embrace when I married Brad. There's always a celebration when one of the guys signs with a new team, and this evening was no exception. Most of these signing parties are a rowdy affair. I hope today will be different. Jake is hosting the party tonight, so I'm feeling a little more relaxed. Now that he has achieved success and signed a £100 million contract to play goalkeeper for the Premier League side in London, he is celebrating today with teammates both new and old. However, if I know Jake, the atmosphere won't be as intense as usual. Jake was Brad's best man, or more accurately Brad's best friend, at our wedding. He and Brad grew up together and played football for many years and are very close friends. They are like brothers, maybe even closer, although they don't have much in common. Jake is incredibly tall and handsome. Brad isn't much taller than me, but what he lacks in height he makes up for in energy. Jake is quiet, refined, and a man of few words, but he has always had success with women. Brad is noisy, very cheerful, and always the life of the party. It was his cheerful personality that made me fall in love with him. Brad approaches the beautiful bronze statue of a ballerina in the middle of the foyer. He runs his hand along the ballerina's back. "Someday I'll have one with my name on it, honey," Brad says. "To do that, you'll have to take up dancing first, Brad." "No, you know what I mean. Football player. They'll put one at Wembley." "Well, there's no harm in dreaming." "Hello, we're here for Jake Hardy's party," Brad says to the concierge. "Of course, sir. This way, please," he replies, pointing to the elevators. "There are quite a lot of guests already. I wish you a pleasant evening." As the doors close, I look at my reflection in the mirrored wall of the elevator. "Isn't this skirt too short?" I ask Brad. I noticed how the concierge was looking at her. "What will you do if I say yes?" Brad replies with a grin. "Besides, I think he was looking at your legs." I remember the last time I saw Jake. It was at Tanner's engagement party more than 6 months ago in Manchester. Jake has lived in Newcastle for the past year, so we haven't seen him much. Hopefully that will change now that he's back in London. "Hey, come on in, guys," Jake says, greeting us at the door of his new penthouse apartment. "Wow, look at this house, man," Brad says, patting Jake on the shoulder. Jake is 2 meters tall, so it's not that easy. "I told you, Brad. I'll be successful one day," Jake replies. "You're right, dude. I achieved it, although I never believed in it." "You were terrible in 7th grade, Brad laughs. I watched their verbal sparring for a moment, something they always do when they meet. Guys, for sure. Brad walked past Jake, turning his attention to the crowded penthouse. Jake turns to me, shrugging and laughing. We both know what he's like. "Come in, Lucy," Jake says, leaning down to kiss me on both cheeks. "Glad to see you." Thank God I wore heels. He's so tall. I wrap my arms around his chest and give him a quick hug. It seems sturdy and much bigger than I remembered. "Thank you, Jake. I'm not sure I'll see Brad again," I say, shaking my head. Jake looks around to see where Brad went, but he's nowhere to be seen. He disappeared into one of the many groups standing and chatting. "Well, I'm sure he's at the bar," Jake says with a smile. "Or with a busty blonde," I say, rolling my eyes. "No, he already has one of these," Jake winks at me. I feel the warmth spreading across my face and neck, and I push him in the ribs. "Don't you dare egg me on either." "I've had enough of Brad's teasing on the way here," I laugh. "He wanted me to wear something even more revealing. And so I fall out of this top." Jake laughs. "Don't worry, I'm the best catcher in the game," he whispers. "Besides, you look amazing." I blush even more at his playful compliment and lightly hit his arm in response. "Men, you are all the same," I say. "God, how attractive he is, and also so pumped up in that black shirt." The light in the room casts harsh shadows on his cheekbones. "Hey, I'm just kidding," Jake says. He throws his head back and smiles warmly at me, then puts a giant hand on my back and leads me to the bar. "Come on, Luce, let me buy you a drink." I'm married, and this is Brad's friend. I shouldn't think of him this way, but his smile makes my legs go weak. "You can look at the window as much as you like. The main thing is not to try the product," my friend Gemma always says. I hate how good I feel when he touches my hand or accidentally brushes my fingers. I feel like I'm betraying Brad. I also know that Jake has a reputation for being a complete womanizer. However, he knows I'm with Brad and always behaves decently with me, except for innocent flirting. As we approach the bar, he leans over to talk to the bartender. I turn around, lean on the bar, and look around the room. It's filled with other team members, old and new, a few girls I know, and a lot of young women. Brad assured me that all the guys would come with girls, but most of them were young, athletic, and very rich. Few people can decide on something more than a first date, so there are many girls, but fewer girlfriends. I was the only one who could decide to marry, and sometimes I have doubts about this. Jake's apartment is either very minimalist or he hasn't finished decorating yet. I've never been to his house, but he seems like a minimalist to me. The music is chill house, and a group of people are dancing on the spacious terrace. "Great place," I say, looking around the room. "Yes, I'm pleased. I'm glad I'm back in London and the club is good. So I'm enjoying life," Jake says, handing me a drink. "Congratulations on your new home," I say, raising my glass. I take a sip. "Gin and tonic?" I ask. "This is my favorite." "How do you know?" "Last Christmas. Or the time before last. We were all at a club in Soho." "You told me then," he says, raising his glass to mine. I shake my head. "Do you remember Brad's favorite drink?" "Who?" He laughs. "It always surprises me when I see Jake. His face is usually covered in sweat from playing and is smeared with grass and dirt. It's funny to think that such a giant could be so damn beautiful. You have to show me the whole apartment," he says. "God, he's such a tease." "Easy there, Tiger," I say. "I have a roof garden overlooking the city," he continues. "You should come and see sometime." "With pleasure," I say. At that moment, someone pushes him from behind, and he suddenly leans forward towards me, his glass hits mine, and a little of my drink lands on my chest. "Oh damn, oh damn." "Hey, watch out, buddy," Jake says to the guy behind him. "Sorry, Jake," says the invisible assailant. "Are you okay?" he asks me. I hold the glass in my right hand, the clutch in my left, and shrug. We both look at the spilled liquid on my chest. "I need to put this somewhere," I say. "Wait, I'll do everything." Jake reaches over to the bar behind him and grabs a napkin. "Can?" he asks, lifting the napkin to my chest. I nod automatically, and he carefully dabs the top of my breasts with a napkin. His gaze remains glued to my eyes as he does this. When he finishes dabbing me, he looks down and dabs again before meeting my eyes again with a smile so genuine that it goes all the way up to his eyes and turns his face into a boyish grimace that would make any girl melt. Looks like you cleaned everything up. Thank you, I say. I feel like a schoolgirl in love. I should probably find my husband. You know, you are the owner and must pay attention to the guests. As soon as I said that, there was a burst of laughter from the terrace, followed by Brad shouting, "Jake, come here." Jake rolls his eyes and quietly says to me, "Oh God, I know what it's going to be about." I have no idea what he's talking about, and I shrug. "I have a new contract with sponsor Hugo Boss," Jake explains. "We shot a promotional video a couple of weeks ago, and now a huge digital billboard a few blocks from here is playing this video in rotation. The day I moved in, they started showing it. I can't stop laughing. Okay, I just need to see it." I follow Jake as he walks through the apartment onto the terrace to join the rest of the guests. "Let him through, people, let him through," Brad shouts playfully. I squeeze behind Jake onto the terrace. There's not a lot of space on it, and people tiptoe around to see what the commotion is all about. I barely make my way to Brad, who puts his arm around me. "Are you flirting with my wife again, Jake?" Brad asks half-jokingly. "Always Brad. You know me," Jake laughs. I stand on my toes to look at the billboard. There is currently an advertisement for the new James Bond film on the screen. "Is it worth all the fuss?" I ask Brad. "Just wait," he laughs. "There, it's starting," someone shouts. Hooray! Everyone starts screaming as a scene appears on the screen. A muscular man swimming in the ocean at sunset. This is followed by various ridiculous scenes of wild horses running through the waves, and then finally Jake emerges from the sea in almost complete nudity. He looks amazing, much more muscular than I imagined. A real athlete dripping with water. "Great graphics," one of the guys shouts, causing laughter from the others. "Damn, Jake," says the girl standing next to him. I turn around and see her boyfriend covering her eyes with his hands. Okay, show's over," Jake shouts playfully. "I need a strong drink." Brad puts his arm around me and leads me back inside. "Will you have a drink?" he asks. I raise my glass. The gentleman has already treated me. "Well, I need more." "Wait here so you don't get crowded at the bar," he says, and immediately rushes there while the others return to the apartment. I roll my eyes, but I already know that I always have to play second fiddle to the beer. I take this moment to look around Jake's apartment. She is very beautiful, but this is not surprising with a salary of £150,000 a week. I wave to Brad, indicating that I'm going to the other side of the room. I look at the various photographs that hang on the wall. Many depict Jake as a teenager, long and gangly. In some photographs, you can see how he has sharply elongated in height. "Hi, Lucy," a voice says from behind me. Gary." "Hi," I answer, trying to hide the displeasure in my voice. "Gary Price, one of Brad's teammates on his current team. He was the first to ask me out when we were 17. I think he asked me about 600 more times, even after I got married. Marry his friend, by the way." "You look amazing," he says. "Thanks, Gary," I replied. "Is your girlfriend here?" "No," he draws slowly. "But I'm still available if you're interested," he adds, his eyes skimming over my cleavage. I raise my hand and show him my wedding ring. "Sorry, Gary. I'm married. For Brad." "There," I point to Brad, who is now back on the terrace with his arm around the waist of some gorgeous brunette. "You should have asked me earlier, Gary," I say with obvious mockery. "Damn it, Brad. I'll kill him. I'll just kill him." He walked towards the bar, left me alone, and is now chatting with another woman. It's not that Gary is a bad guy. He's not bad. Like most footballers, he's in great shape, but he's dead boring and doesn't understand that I'm not interested. But it's still better than standing alone, so I continue talking to Gary while Brad drinks all of Jake's bar. As we chat, I can't stop following Brad from across the room. He doesn't seem to notice me at all. I see his hand slide from the brunette's waist down to her buttocks, and my patience bursts. I'm about to rush over there to cause trouble when I see Jake intervene and pull Brad towards the terrace. I freeze and watch as an animated conversation takes place between them. Brad looks embarrassed and raises both hands as if in surrender. I'm sure Jake reminds him that I'm here and puts him in his place. Everything is fine? Gary asks, apparently not noticing what was happening. Yes, I answered. Yes, everything is fine. God, I just want to get out of here. Brad ruined my whole evening. Gary turns around and looks at Brad, noticing my condition. Brad is acting like a naughty boy again, isn't he? He asks. What do you mean, again? I ask sharply, making quotation marks in the air with my fingers. Oh no, it's nothing. Gary begins to justify himself. You know Brad. He always remains the guy who is the ringleader. No, Gary, don't know. Explain to me what it means to be a ringleader, I bark, feeling the rage boiling inside me again. Gary, Jake says, approaching us, can I intercept Lucy for a couple of minutes? Jake stands right in front of Gary, almost towering over him, and Gary is forced to raise his head to look at him. Lucy, would you like to dance? Jake asks, holding out his hand to me without waiting for an answer from Gary. Before I can respond, Gary turns and walks away. You don't dance, I say with a smile. He does some exaggerated dance moves, and I can't help but laugh. Do you remember this? He asks. Yeah, you said you can't just blend into the crowd when you're 6 feet tall or something. I laugh. Jake laughs too. Excellent memory. I'm the worst dancer you've ever seen. And yes, with my height, everyone sees this. Okay, let's go. I'll show you the roof garden. He places his hand on my back again, guiding me towards the door. I feel the warmth of his palm even through my blouse. I notice Gary heading towards the bar and fiddling with his phone. Thank you for saving me, I say as we walk towards the stairs. Yes, I remember you said that Gary was always partial to you and didn't take hints, Jake says, raising an eyebrow. Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. Brad, don't worry, he's a good guy, just a little overzealous. I nod. Sometimes I think he overdoes it too often. There's an awkward silence, and Jake doesn't seem to know what to say for the first time in a long time. We climb the last steps, and he opens the door. The soft evening breeze comes in from the street, giving me instant goosebumps. Cold? He asks, noticing the reaction of my skin. I shake my head and laugh nervously. No, just a reaction to the change in temperature, I say, going outside. Wow, I say admiringly, looking at the starry sky. I walk slowly along the rooftop garden, admiring the views of London, and then look up at the sparkling night sky. It's absolutely incredible, and I can't believe I'm in central London. Quite impressive, huh? Jake says, coming up to me and bringing me out of my thoughts. I didn't even know this place existed when I looked around the apartment. We walk to the edge of the building and look out over the London skyline. Well, for this, he says, raising his glass. I clink glasses with him. Why have I never seen you with a potential Mrs. Jake? I ask. His eyes widen and he takes a sip. Oh, you know, he says, avoiding my gaze. Look, I know you and Brad fell in love and got married early, and that's great, but it's not the time for me yet. Not now. I laugh. Why isn't this time for you? I ask, walking next to him along the edge of the roof. He looks awkward for a second, then answers. Well, there was this girl I wanted, but she found love elsewhere, so I had to make other plans. I'm young, I play football, I earn some money, I like to have fun. Understand? I laugh again. I understand, I say. Brad never told me you had a girlfriend. Are you keeping secrets from him, Jake? He laughs nervously. Yes, Brad doesn't know. Some secrets are not for public disclosure. So your backup plan is to play on the field, I say, giving him a friendly nudge with my elbow to diffuse the situation. This is a short but true description. I'm just enjoying life. I lean forward, resting my elbows on the parapet, and look at the boats on the river. I think Brad and I might have gotten married too early. Come on, you and him are a great couple. he says. Thank you, but I think Brad still wants to have fun, just like you. No, you and Brad look great together, Jake replies. Thank you, I say, shaking my head. But sometimes it seems to me that Brad is not yet ready for such responsibility as marriage. He loves you, that's for sure, Jake says, trying to console me. Yes, maybe he loves. But how often have I seen that this kept someone from doing stupid things? I look away and look at the city again. We're both silent for a few minutes, and I think about how Jake might be the only person who understands me better than I do. I feel calm next to him, but at the same time I cannot get rid of the feeling of guilt for these thoughts. Listen, Lucy, Jake begins. Yes, I turn to him. He hesitates, looking into my eyes, but then he just smiles and says, You are stronger than you think. You can handle any problems that may arise. His words, although simple, somehow resonate with me. I realize my problem isn't Jake or even Brad. It is in myself and in the fact that I have to decide what I want from life. Thank you, Jake. You're a good friend, I say with a smile. He nods, and there is silence between us for a few seconds. We're just standing next to each other, looking at the lights of London. There are many questions ahead that I have to find answers to, but now, at this moment, I feel a little more confident that I can cope with them. Brad has an away game today, so I'm planning to head to Oxford Street with Gemma for some shopping and then a yoga class. She's going to come over for dinner and wine with me this evening, and we'll wait for Brad to get home. But first, a shower. Ring, I hear the signal of a new message. I wiped the steam off the mirror to see who wrote, but the message came from an unknown number. I continue to shower. Ring message again. Ting again. Damn it. Someone is clearly eager to see me. I quickly finish the shower, assuming it's either Gemma texting that something has changed and she won't be able to come, or Brad bragging about his goal. When I get out of the shower, I wrap myself in a large towel and wrap my hair with another. Leaning on the sink, I pick up the phone. Message from an unknown sender. I open the message. I'm having a great time. This is Brad. I don't know why the number is unknown, but I'm sure it's him. Bing. I'm looking at the next message. Again. A chill runs down my spine. That's good, honey. I hope you behave yourself. I write and click send. Bing. Not really. What? What the hell does not really mean? You better be decent, I answer, feeling anger welling up. I shake my head, not believing my eyes. Is he kidding me? Bing. I can't open the message right away. My heart is racing. He's probably just teasing me about something stupid from the game. I pick up my phone and open the message. Photo. I'm waiting for it to load. Come on, I whisper under my breath. The image opens. Brad kisses the girl. Brunette. On one hand, he has a bottle of champagne. What the hell? I scream and throw the phone into the bath, then sit on the floor. I want to burst into tears, but anger overwhelms me. I quickly crawl along the bathroom floor, losing my towel in the process, and grab my phone. I lean back against the bathtub, trembling with anger and horror. This is the same brunette from Jake's party last week. I'll kill her, and then I'll kill him. But suddenly it dawns on me, who sent these messages? Who is this? I write. I look at the photo, waiting for a response from this mysterious sender. Several minutes pass. If she was here in London last week for a party and is now in Sheffield, does that mean she went with him, or is she from Sheffield and came to that party? Maybe it's not from this weekend at all. I don't know when this photo was taken. Bing. My heart skips a beat. I look at the notification, hesitant to open it. One more photo. It shows Brad inserting a key into a hotel room door as the brunette hugs him from behind, holding his groin. She poses for the camera, pouting her lips. I drop the phone, feeling my heart break into pieces. Tuck, tuck. I hear the front door to the apartment open. It could be Brad, Gemma, or Mom. Luce, Gemma calls me. Luce, are you home? The door to the bathroom swings open. Hey, are you going? Or, Gemma sees me and throws her purse. Damn, honey, What happened? I'm crying so hard I can't speak. I received some strange messages. From someone, I say hoarsely, unable to collect my thoughts. She sits down next to me and wipes the tears from my face with a towel. From Brad, she asks. I shake my head. I don't know from whom. Damn good. What's in these messages? I pick up the phone. It turns out that I'm a complete idiot. She takes the phone and reads the messages. No, you're not an idiot. He's an idiot, and I'm going to kill him, she says, throwing the phone back and hugging me tightly. Let's go, honey. Get up. I'll pour us a glass, says Gemma, standing up and extending her hand to me. I opened a bottle of champagne. This is the second one this evening. Louis Roederer. To hell with it, we only drink the best. Gemma comes back to my kitchen. Do you think I should call him? I ask, pouring her another glass. No. He'll just start denying anyway and make up some nice story by the time he gets home. What time should he be back today? She asks. About 8. Do you want me to stay with you? No, honey. You shouldn't be an accomplice in his murder, I say mockingly, trying to cope with my emotions. I just need to talk to him. I don't think this is the first time he's deceived me. You're much better off without him, to be honest. She sits down next to me on the sofa, and I don't answer right away. Maybe she's right. But what will I do next? Yes, it's possible. But we've been married for less than a year. I feel like a fool, I answer. He's a fool. Look at you. Every time you walk by, all the men turn around. Brad would be a complete idiot if he lost you. Honestly, you're way above his level. I'm hungry, Gemma says, heading to the kitchen. I get up and follow her. Gemma? Yes, she asks, peeking out from the kitchen. Do you mind staying tonight? It's just, I don't want to be alone. She looks at me. Of course, loose. I'll stay, she replies, heading back to the kitchen to grab a snack. Are you going to show him these photographs? She shouts from the kitchen. No, I'll just tell him that I know what he's doing. We barely talked for the rest of the evening. We drink a few glasses of wine and pretend to watch TV. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, Gemma hugs and kisses me goodbye. If something happens, call immediately, okay? She says. I'll be there in a second, and bring the bat. I collapse on the sofa, deciding that drinking any more is not a good idea. I still don't know who sent those photos. My first thought was Jake. He would definitely stand up for me, but he's no longer on that team, so it's unlikely he was there. And secret photos are definitely not Jake's style. I'm running through my head about who might be at that event and who might have an interest in ruining Brad and I's relationship. Gary, it must be him. I don't know his number. Should I reply to the last message and ask? This may scare him, and I will lose my source of information. Or maybe thank him for telling him. Bing. I grab the phone. While I'm unlocking it, I see that it's already 9 o'clock in the evening. Where the hell is Brad? Message from Brad. Drinking beer with the guys. I'll be there soon. Kisses. I'm going to kill him. Bing. This message is from Gemma. Is everything okay, honey? I tell Gemma that everything is fine. Even though it was a lie, it would only make her angry. What am I even doing? I'm 23 years old, and I'm sitting at home alone on a Saturday night, while my husband is out and about doing God knows what. I text Brad. Come home now. We need to talk. Be here in an hour, or don't come at all. I look at the screen. My finger hovered over the send button. I reread the text 10 times, and then I made up my mind and clicked send. Message sent. I turn off my phone and throw it onto the couch like a hot potato. I jump from my seat and run to the kitchen. Crap, I did it. To hell with it. He got involved with the wrong woman. 15 minutes pass. No answer. I check my phone. Full signal. Answer me, damn it. I shout at the phone. It's time to put an end to this. His behavior brings out the worst in me. He can't have me and still cheat with others. If he's going to act like a fool, I won't sit idly by either. I open the photos again and scroll through them. Maybe I should delete them or keep them so Brad can't hide them. and I can find who sent them. Or, bing. Message from Brad. I'm already on my way. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Sorry, honey. Kisses. I know his tricks. I know what he's going to do. Sorry, he will say. I promise to be better. But not today, Brad. Brad comes into the house 20 minutes later. Darling, he shouts. I don't answer. I just continue to sit on the couch, trying to look calm, although inside I am seething with anger. He enters the living room. Darling, what's happened? He asks in a light-hearted tone. Sit down, I say, pointing to the sofa opposite. He obediently sits down. Who was that brunette at Jake's party? I ask calmly. What? What are you talking about? Which brunette? Don't make a fool of yourself, Brad. You hugged her and touched her ass. I saw it on the other side of the room. I saw everything, Brad. I don't know, honey. Listen, I'm sorry. I went a little overboard. It was a stupid mistake. I don't even know what her name is. All my restraint and calmness are gone, as if they had been torn out by the roots. Well, why didn't you ask her name when you slept with her yesterday? I shout, jumping to my feet. Brad's face instantly loses color. What? Who? What are you even talking about? Honey, what are you talking about? He slowly stands up, raising his hands in a gesture of reconciliation. Calm down, honey. I don't understand what you're talking about. Don't you dare tell me to calm down, and don't call me sweetheart. I yell. I know everything, Brad. You were with her at the club and then at the hotel. You are an absolute nonentity. I thought I was going to start crying, but the tears never came. Brad lowers his head and looks into space. I see that he is not ashamed of what he has done. The only thing he cares about is how I knew it. How many more were there? I ask sharply, pointing my finger at him. No one else. Honestly, sorry, honey. I made a mistake. You're lying, Brad. True, dear, true. There was no one except you. And except for this brunette. Don't forget about her, Brad. He comes up to me and tries to hug me. It won't happen again, Lucy. I promise you. I push him away and hit him in the face as hard as I can. You're a coward, Brad. You hurt me, but you don't even understand how devastated I am. We are married. I trusted you. You're a liar. I was a fool. It won't happen again, I promise. Yes, you're right, I answered. Do you know how sure I am of this? I take his face in my hands and gently kiss his forehead. Because if I ever find out that you cheated again, you won't be the only one having fun. I will also go to the party and have fun to the fullest. I promise you this, Brad. I turn away sharply and go to the stairs. I am going to sleep. You're probably tired too. Sleep in the guest room. Have you heard anything from him? Gemma asks over loud music. Yeah, he texted when they boarded the flight to Ibiza, when they landed, and when they got to the hotel. We FaceTimed him so he could show me his number, and he's been texting every 3 hours since then, I say, rolling eyes. Wow, he's clearly trying to prove he behaves. Well, yeah, he's at a bachelor party, so I purposely told him that I was going to the club to drink, and reminded him of my promise, I say with a wink. I can't believe you told him that. He's probably panicking right now. He knows that all you have to do is take one seductive look at someone here, and within an hour you'll be calling God for help, he laughs. Gemma. Well, yes, I see a couple of candidates here in case Brad messes up. If it turns out that he cheated more than once, I'll take 2 or 3 at once and enjoy it to my heart's content, I laugh. Gemma and I clink glasses, toasting to fun times and lousy men. We leave the club early because Gemma has an early shift tomorrow. To hell with it. I had a great evening and don't want it to end. I check my phone. Nothing. Not a single message from Brad in the last 6 hours. Brad, asks Gemma. Nothing, I answered, slightly slurring my tongue. I'm calling a taxi. Yeah, me too. Thanks for a great evening, Luce, Gemma says and kisses me. The beauty of leaving the club early is that taxis are easy to hail. I lean back in my seat as we drive through town towards my house. See. Finally, I mutter to myself. Message from an unknown sender. The same thing he wrote to me last week, and my heart skips a beat. I open the message. This is a video. Loading. I turn it on. The screen is black. I bring the phone closer, but I don't see anything. I only hear laughter and screams. There is some movement, but it is too dark to make out anything. Finally, whoever is filming moves along the beach, where there are several sun loungers illuminated by lights. "Whoa, Brad, come on," someone's voice shouts. The camera pans to show Brad lying on his back with his shorts down, while some blonde girl pleases him. "Bastard," I yell. The taxi driver looks over his shoulder. "Everything is fine?" "Yes, sorry," I say. I fight back tears as I look out the window at the late-night revelers enjoying themselves in London's West End. The taxi stops at a traffic light, and I look at a billboard that shows a couple running on the beach holding hands. "Fuck you," I mutter. The taxi driver looks at me in the rearview mirror again. I silently apologize with a gesture. The ad changes to show a guy swimming in the ocean and coming ashore. Jake. I wonder what he's doing now. Surely next to him is another gorgeous model, or on it, and he probably treats her like a human being, even if it's just for one night. Damn Brad. I can't believe he did this. He promised me, and I gave him my promise. I lean forward and knock on the glass, separating me from the driver. "What's happened?" he asks, turning to me. "Can we go somewhere else?" "We can go anywhere, honey," he says with a grin, his eyes skimming over my cleavage. I give the address. "It's nearby," he says as he turns the next corner. 10 minutes later, I pay and get out of the taxi. I look at my watch. It's already past 11 in the evening. I look up at the penthouse. The lights are on in the windows of Jake's apartment. He's at home and not sleeping yet. I head towards the front door. The concierge lets me in. "Hey, I know it's late, but I'm going to Jake Hardy's," I say confidently. "Really? Is he waiting for you?" Crap. "Actually, no. Do you know if he's at home?" "I'm his good friend," I say. "Yes, he's home. He just got back." Crap. He was at a party somewhere. If Jake was somewhere, he was clearly not alone. The concierge apparently reads my thoughts. "He was just running in the evening." "Oh, great," I reply, trying to contain myself. "I know he has a game tomorrow, so he doesn't stress too much the night before, if you know what I mean," he winks. "Can I go up?" "Let me dial him and ask him." "Can I just get up? I'm his friend," I say in my most flirtatious tone. "Yes, I saw you here a couple of weeks ago." "Is it true?" "You won't forget this," he says with a warm smile. "Okay, get up. Now I'll call you the elevator," he says, heading towards the row of elevators. The first elevator arrives. He swipes the card and presses the penthouse button as I enter the booth. I turn around and smile. "Thank you." "Miss, I've been a fan of his team since I was a kid. There's an important game tomorrow, so don't keep him too long." He presses the button to close the doors and exits the elevator just as my cheeks begin to turn red. My God, what are you doing, Lucy? The elevator stops and the doors open. Directly in front of me is the door to Jake's apartment. I get out and go to the door. I can't do this. I reach for my phone to text Gemma and see the video again. I play it to the point where Brad is enjoying himself and presses the bell. Yeah, I hear a voice through the intercom. "Jake, it's me. Lucy." "Lucy? Lucy Carrington?" "Yes, I know it's late, but I wanted to talk to you," I stammer. I didn't think this through. My thoughts went much further. The introduction was skipped. The door opens and swings open. Jake stands with only a white bath towel wrapped around his hips. His body is glistening with sweat. My eyes involuntarily glance over his toned abs. He follows my gaze as it lands on the towel. "Sorry, Luce. I just got back from an evening run. I was going to take a shower," he says. I stand rooted to the spot. My eyes can't tear themselves away from the bulge under the towel. "Is Brad with you?" he asks. Hearing Brad's name brings me out of my daze. "No, it's just me today. Can I come in?" I smile. Oh, damn, sorry, loose. I'm being rude. I just wasn't expecting anyone. I walk past him into his penthouse. Without the crowd, it seems huge. You look amazing, he says. You were at the club? Yes, I was at a club with a friend. Brad is brave to let you go alone like this. He smiles with his usual sly smile. Listen, Luce, I'm sweaty. Pour yourself something to drink and get comfortable. I'll take a shower, 10 minutes, he says, and leaves the living room. I walk across the room and out onto his balcony. God, it's the size of our apartment. I walk along the balcony, running my fingers along the chrome edge, and look down at the passers-by. It seems that the balcony goes around almost the entire penthouse. A light comes on in the room ahead. I come closer and see Jake's back naked, strong. He opens the shower door. A cloud of steam comes out of it, and Jake goes inside. I feel like a voyeur, but I stand and watch his naked body move behind the steamy glass shower doors. A door leads from the bathroom to the balcony. I try it, and to my surprise, it opens. I walk inside, and my heart starts pounding. Brad brought this on himself, I think. I reach for the tie of my dress around my neck. In one swift movement, it falls to the floor. I step out of my shoes, then pull my panties over my hips until they are next to my shoes. Then I unclasp my bra, and it falls off too. Taking a look in the mirror, I see that I look great, but again I freeze. Lucy, what are you doing? My thoughts go back to Brad on the beach, and I make a quick decision. The shower door opens easily, and I look inside. This is the largest shower I've ever seen, floor-to-ceiling tiles and even a bench. Jake turns and sees me at the entrance. His face does not express surprise, and he calmly turns his whole body towards me. He places his palms on either side of the shower wall and tenses his muscles. It's much nicer here, he says, breathing heavily. I step into the shower and close the door behind me. He extends his hand to me. I take it, and he slowly pulls me towards him under a powerful stream of water. My hair gets wet, water streams over my face and body. I continue to approach until I am close to his huge figure, feeling very small. Jake leans in and kisses me passionately. Hot water pours down our sticky faces. His hands move to my full breasts. He pulls back for a moment and looks at me. I press my finger to his lips. Don't ask questions. I'll explain later, I say, placing both hands on his hard torso. Moving forward, I push him back against the shower wall until his feet touch the bench. Sit down, I ordered. He gradually sits up, leaning forward and running his tongue over my left breast. A warm stream of showers washes my back and flows down my sides. My body is trembling with desire. I am ready for him to take me as he wants. But first I know what I want myself. I'm already horny, and I'm sure he feels my desire. His hands move from my hips to my chest. He takes it in his palms, feeling the heaviness. He massages my breasts with strong, confident movements, and I throw my head back, surrendering to his touch. I hesitate for a moment, then press my lips to his neck, where his pulse beats. His heart is pounding, driving passion through his body. I feel this beating under my lips and gently kiss the soft skin. I run my hands over his firm cheeks, then down his rough stubble, along his muscular neck, my thumb brushing against a thick vein. His huge hands stroke my body, my stomach, my sides, then rise again to cup my buttocks. God, this feels so right. I rest my hands on his shoulders, push him back, forcing him to lie down, and I slowly kneel in front of him. I look at his body, feeling his closeness and inner awe. To be honest, I expected it to be impressive, but the reality exceeded my expectations. I can't help but look in admiration, although I'm trying to control myself. A deep breath, another, and, well, that doesn't seem to help much. My fingers slide over his skin, feeling the warm hardness. He closes his eyes, throwing his head back, and I hear a heavy sigh escape from his chest. Obviously, he likes it, and I just intensify the movements, playing on the edge of patience. I glance up and see how the tension on his face increases, and my movements become more and more confident. Oh God, he groans, as if he is really sure that someone will hear him. I smile and continue, not letting him relax. My hands gently slide over his torso, feeling every muscle as if I were examining a work of art. I want to prolong this moment as long as possible to make him languish with anticipation. Everything becomes even more intense when he leans closer, and I feel his presence on almost every inch of my skin. But no, we are in no hurry. We are adults, right? All good things are worth waiting for. So I slow down, watching his reaction. His breathing becomes erratic, his body tenses, and his hands try to move my head in the other direction. Clearly, he wants to speed up the process. Hey, be quiet, I tease him. He smiles, but there is impatience in his eyes. We continue this game on the edge of possibility for some time, holding back the moment that is clearly brewing like a storm before a thunderstorm. It ends on a high note, and I lean back. So, am I correct that you enjoyed our time in the shower? I ask as Jake sits back down on the tiled bench. He laughs. You're incredible. I always suspected you would be, he says, cupping my face in his hands and stroking my lips with his thumb. Is it true? I'm surprised. Yes, I have wanted to have sex with you since the first time I saw you, but you were unavailable. Is that so? I ask again, and he nods. I rise up on my knees so that our faces are at the same level. But you haven't had sex with me yet, I whisper. He smiles. Well, I've been distracted in the shower, but I think it's time to fix that. He groans. Let's go to the bedroom. I want to see you on my bed. I want to spread your legs and worship your body, he says. I like the way he talks to me, and I like it when he talks dirty. He grabs my hand, and we walk into his bedroom, leaving wet footprints behind us. He stops at the dresser and takes a couple of towels from the bottom drawer. Here, dry yourself before I make you horny again, he says with a smirk. I grab some towels and start drying myself off, then wrap a large towel around me. I dry my hair with a small towel. He wipes himself off too. I watch as he takes a condom out of the drawer and places it on the nightstand. Are they suitable? I ask with a smile, nodding towards the condom. I specially ordered it, he laughs. Standing in front of me, he reaches for my large towel. I raise my hands to let him take it off me. I follow his gaze as he drops the towel to the floor and slowly looks me up and down. Jake comes up to me and raises his hands to my face. Slowly, he runs his fingers over my lips, then his hand slides down along my cheek, neck, and stops on my chest. Your body is amazing, he says. Ah, Jake, the same Jake, a master of creating intrigue and, apparently, a fan of old Hollywood rom-coms, decided to give me a mini-show called Watch Me as I Do Everything to Make You Remember This Evening for a Long Time. He acts, of course, with a fair amount of confidence, as if somewhere he had found a secret instruction on how to be a charismatic hero of romance novels. He lifts me onto the bed with ease, as if I were a feather and not a person who just ordered pizza for dinner. And here I am standing in front of him on the bed, slightly taller than him, giggling. I feel like a superhero as he kisses me with the greed of someone who's been on a diet for a week and now has discovered chocolate cake. His hands slide over me, and this is where I stop laughing. Focusing on my new superhero status becomes more difficult when the situation becomes tactile. He looks at me as if he sees something incredible. I receive compliments about my shape with gratitude. It's high time to accept that the gym is relying on me for a reason. When Jake says it's my turn to relax, he's clearly not kidding. He behaves with the seriousness of a yoga teacher's slow movements, attention to every part of the body, as if testing my flexibility. His hands gently slide over my stomach, building anticipation. And then the "I thought it was hard to surprise me" session begins. My nervous system is actively interested in, is this a new type of relaxation, or, as they say, do you just feel it? Then he decides to test my patience. To be honest, I always thought that patience was not my strong point. But this guy has clearly been in self-control training, because he keeps me on edge, as if he were playing a game of be patient a little longer. His movements are so slow and precise that I begin to doubt. Is this all part of his insidious plan, or does he just have a lot of free time? Just when I think the end is near, Jake changes tactics again. He's already on the other side of the bed, leaving me wondering, what's next exactly? Obviously, his tactic is to prolong this moment as long as possible, so that I start to seriously think that this is some kind of game of, yes, there's more honey. I fall onto the bed, gasping from all this unexpected acrobatics, and meet his satisfied smile. Jake is clearly proud of the work he's done, and honestly, he has every right to be. And then, of course, the reverse process begins. We both quietly come to our senses, like two conspirators who have managed to pull off a big plan. I lie there looking at the ceiling and laughing slightly. Jake is next to me, tired but happy, as if he had just won the marathon championship, where instead of races there are intricate romantic intrigues and subtle psychological maneuvers. "So, how did you like this show?" I ask, still breathing with difficulty. "Of course," he replies with a grin. "You know I'm a master of these tricks." "Well, master, so master. Next time I'll be prepared, grab some popcorn, and brush up on my knowledge of waiting strategies in romantic relationships." He collapses on top of me, breathing heavily. "Damn," he says. "Hell yes." He rolls over next to me, and I lay down, resting my head on his chest. He hugs me, kissing the top of my head. We lie there, breathing heavily, looking at the ceiling, until our breathing gradually returns to normal. Jake laughs. "What's so funny?" I ask. "It's just incredible. I went for a run tonight, ran a couple of miles around town, and I saw you and your friend coming out of a club." "Oh God, you didn't tell me that before," I say, sitting up to look at him. He brushes my hair away from my forehead. "You looked so amazing, and I thought, Brad doesn't appreciate how lucky he is. The whole way home I was thinking about you and how much I want you. And here we are." "And here we are," I agree. "You want to tell me why we're here?" he asks. "Brad cheated on me again." He sighs heavily. "I thought so." "Did you know?" "Not specifically, but he used to do it all the time, especially when he was drinking." "Well, I talked to him last week, and he confessed and promised he wouldn't do it again." I pause for a moment. "I promised him that if he did it again, I'd find some adventure too." "Are you going to tell him about us?" "No." I lean over and kiss him. "Let's just say I don't feel unhappy now, but 2 hours ago I was in complete despair." "Well, I don't feel unhappy either," he replies. "Will you stay the night?" "No, you have a game tomorrow." I look at my watch. "Or rather, today. I'll go home." Jake asks the concierge to call me a taxi. He calls when the car arrives. My hair is tousled, my makeup is wiped off. When I get out of the elevator, the concierge is standing below. I want to fall through the ground. I look like I just got thoroughly fucked, and he knows it. "Hi," I say. He nods. "The taxi is waiting for you outside, miss." "Thank you." "I hope he can play later," he says with a wink. The trip through the city takes about half an hour. Memories of tonight with Jake flash through my head. I understand that this was just one time, unfortunately. But if I find out that Brad is continuing his adventures, I'll go back to Jake in a heartbeat. I take out my phone. 2 missed messages. First message from Brad: "Love you, darling. Good night here. See you tomorrow. Kisses." Lying bastard. The second message is from Gemma. "Hope you made it home, Luce. Thanks for a fun evening. Nice to see your smile again. Kisses." I look at the previous message. I read, "Unknown sender. This is my information. There are no new messages. I'm starting to wonder who it could be. It had to be someone who was with Brad last week at the away game and at this bachelor party. I know most of his teammates, but not very well. Most often they start staring at me when they drink. Whoever it is knows my number or found it on Brad's phone. Harry. I know he likes me. This is definitely him. I'll take the risk. What's the worst that can happen?" I press the answer button. "Hey, Harry, I know it's you. It's okay. Thanks for keeping me informed about what he's doing behind my back. Kisses." It's 3:30 in the morning in Ibiza. I doubt they're still having fun, so I put my phone in my bag. C. Damn, fast. You're welcome. I'm always happy to help. I can't watch him hurt you. I knew it. Subscribe to our channel so that your love doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think. Click to the next one. Click to the next one. Click to the next one.